welcome. Good morning. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much. Of course, it's the Sunday edition. Second broadcast on a Sunday. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, and then a lot of the analysis near there, bro. In-game conversation of a course against Real Madrid versus RCD Espanyol no Ewo Catalan Chrome. We'll talk about it. Some of the major things that happened with Rudiger's injury. A bit preview on it. Barcelona game about the importance of it in the Spanish La Liga. A bit come more about the transfer window and how things are going on with clubs in Manchester United, Chelsea, and all of those ones now. A bit come more Chelsea predisposition about Benjamin Chilwell, about Kani Chukwuemeka, and the players that may come in. On transfer deadline day. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. You be sound coming now has the amount of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, from 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. I was a transfer deadline day in we'll go on live. Near think come on about clubs on your sign wine near the transfer deadline. Home coming now was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Someone subscribe to the channel. I'm so subscribe to the channel. Nothing your notification in a notification 10 Michelle choose all. Now make sure say anytime your content ever drop you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube and here come on in here as well. We'll add the preview of Chelsea versus West Ham United. And at Chelsea Bono, you have a letter preview for you. We'll do an in-depth one also for you. And then after the Arsenal Man City game, after the Barcelona game, you have a post-match analysis of all the weekend matches. No, it's like we've always been doing every Sunday evening. Now, as on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's a long Sunday for us, a lot of analysis and see. And here starting at Madrid yesterday in Catalan dropped massive points. I think in a massive for in front of their paper today. For Madrid to go to Catalan. In fact, the real conversation is that when you go in front before the match started, Espanyol for the stadium name now. The fans of Espanyol were chanting "Viva Barca." Most of them no more chanting "Viva Barca." Viva Barca said it's supposed to be a game for Barca. Of course, Catalan for Espanyol and Barcelona are in the same city, so obviously it was the same. In there, only 1 point ahead of Atletico de Madrid after Enra. Near Corso El Catalan Horn because Atletico actually 2-0 against the Fiifi. A difficult game for them, but then the likes of Antoine Griezmann really stood up, and Atletico de Madrid got the maximum points that they needed. Our Spanish La Liga, and it sets the tone for almost everything. And then Real Madrid went in there against Espanyol to try and get the win. The big blow at the campaign Madrid was that injury of Abrante and Rudiger. I think that for almost all of Madrid's games, I mean, share data specifically, but Rudiger seems to have played every match. He has been a part of almost every match about Madrid about this season. And of course, you could see the accumulated fatigue incoming because a player bought that many matches. That's why resting in there, they are in trouble. And he's one of about 3 players. I can't say one senior they may go down injured. I mentioned the last time about Chelsea for Moises Caicedo. Said the number of matches that Moises Caicedo bought, there may be an accumulated fatigue somewhere that may affect him, and Chelsea need to be very careful with Moises Caicedo. Manage his training and then manage his playing time as well. And right there, of course, the big one was a big issue of Abrante your friend Rudiger. That happened over there, and of course he sat out, and Carlo Ancelotti had to ring up changes. Of course, it was a game up. You see, even from the blast of the whistle in the first half, Espanyol were very confident in terms of defending. They were very aggressive in their faces of team friend of Real Madrid. Now, anytime Madrid had a break, they decided to go toe-to-toe, never to give up on second balls, and to make sure they win. But momentum was constantly swinging, especially in the second half. There was a breaker. Kylian Mbappe far ball from the right hand side, or switching play to Vinicius Jr. And it was a very, very dangerous tackle from Espanyol for. But then again, referee Angie BBI didn't end up to be a goal in there. Of course, first half, Raul Asensio, you could tell he had a very, very good game, played particularly well. And that was something that was good from team, your friend FC Real Madrid in the dying numbers of the game. And Espanyol for in your important goal now. almost share and they call up by a goal to 0. It was not a good night for team my friend Real Madrid cry, not a good night over there. Of course, you know that Madrid are not in a good place over there, and it's a big one. That's worried FC Real Madrid in front of Marca. I'm gonna say Esto Arde in front of Marca. That's the written, and ahead of that, the written El Atletico Segui Crescendo. Of course, talking about how Atletico for a 1 point off the top over there, and then of course the fact that Madrid for Barcelona for have hit a huge roadblock in there, and not a good one for them at all for Tima, your friend FC Real Madrid. We wait to see how those ones go on. Kylian Mbappe was there. Of course, Uchesi Pichichi never couldn't get the goal for team my friend Real Madrid. Vinicius Junior was in the match as well. Still, he couldn't do enough for Madrid for to get a win. And of course, also the conversation of other players be let's say Rodrigo Goes more and it's it's a huge one. Madrid for didn't expect, said they were going to lose that match, but then they did over there, and that's exactly what you're having. So much problems over there with respect to Esto Arde in terms of that's the headline our master for from Spanish to English. The translation, and it says this is what they're saying, Esto Arde, Esto Estaki Arde. That's what they put it, and talking about how this is burning like a shit, talking about the loss for team my friend Real Madrid over there against team your friend RCD Espanyol. And I know that Madrid fans will keep on asking questions again. What happened? They didn't see Carlo Ancelotti fault, and what really happened? I think that it's just one of those games where Espanyol were the better side on the day, and then it was a very, very good one in there for Tima, your friend Espanyol. Madrid for no bone of contention said it should have been a red card for Espanyol for no, and of course Madrid official account reposted it and spoke about the conversation that it should have been a red card for Tima, your friend FC Real Madrid. But then of course I disagree. Of course, Espanyol for were very, very aggressive, actually, very aggressive. Throughout the game, they were very aggressive, and a lot of the Madrid outlets are the title is like simply an acceptable standard of refereeing. But I think the Espanyol for were aggressive. Kylian Mbappe with no comments gesture when asked about the tackle on him, but he's not going to talk. Carlo Ancelotti, Rudiger suffered a muscular injury. Bad January signing strategy. I can't answer. We are still in this fight. Carlo Ancelotti, the result wasn't fair. We didn't deserve to lose. Espanyol were very good. Yes, I agree with that. A war between Real Madrid and the refs. I don't want to talk about that. All I will say is that the red was very obvious and the whole world saw it. I don't agree with Carlo Ancelotti that was a red card over there on the Espanyol player. I think that was a dangerous tackle, but it was unintentional. And then you don't say so. And then on the Spanish La Liga table, Atletico de Madrid are closing into just 1 point, and then now after they won, Barca are playing. The news that came with respect to Barca transfers, and say Asumani Fati on Kobebia, my brand friend Marcus Rashford is also not joining FC Barcelona because now Paniets and they say Aston Villa for are almost there in terms of an agreement with our brand friend Marcus Rashford to join them. Villa for 70% of Marcus. I think one of the parties, Manchester United or Villa, will pay 70% of Marcus Rashford wages for him to go and play at Villa. Then there is an option to buy in the summer of our branch friend Marcus Rashford joining Aston Villa. The saga is over for our branch friend Marcus Rashford over there. Of course, Lewandowski has scored 6 goals in 3 matches against Alaves. A match our branch friend Robert Lewandowski gets a lot of goals. 2 goals per game, almost every match. Robert Lewandowski against Deportivo Alaves. No, he gets a good goal over the Barcelona. Over them, Barca are preparing for it. Next week, Atletico de Madrid versus Real Madrid face each other. One of them will have to drop points, or at least 2 ever drop a point. And Barca knows that it's a huge one for them. Barca, you say in their match, after what happened between Madrid and Espanyol, they just cannot drop points, and then Barca in passing. They can't afford to drop any points against Tima, your friend Deportivo Alaves, especially when they are playing at home. Especially when Barcelona are playing at home, they can't afford to drop any points. Espanyol actually 3 points thing now from team your friend FC Real Madrid. And then it was a good gift. Oko in front of Sport, Oko in front of Mundo Deportivo, all of those pro Catalonia papers now. I'm sure they are going to talk about a gift from Espanyol in Barcelona. Spanish La Liga now is saying it here. Madrid 49 points, Atletico de Madrid 48 points, Barca 42 points. Barca wins, they go to 45 points, and it becomes a reduction of the gap from 7 points to 4 points for them and then FC Real Madrid. So they know that they need to go in and get a job done over there in the NT. We'll wait to see how that goes. We're expecting the Barca same players almost starting are going to start against my friend Alaves Fiifi, and hopefully for a lot of Barca fans, they want to get a win. So maybe Barca beat Menarino against Tima, your friend Deportivo or Alaves. It's a huge one for them. They need to win. Then everything will go on well for them. Now in the transfers and common ones happened in the last few hours. They started from the camp of Chelsea Football Club because Benjamin Chilwell, player at Chelsea for a very long time, looks as if the Chelsea have found a loan move for him. I don't know if you're happy because Benjamin Chilwell, a lot of people think that he's the best left back at the club. I disagree, especially in the context of how Enzo Maresca plays. I don't think that Benjamin Chilwell is the best left back at Chelsea Football Club. I think that he's very experienced. I think that's for somebody of his experience now. Maybe Chelsea could have kept him around. But according to Enzo Maresca, we tried several times to be using Benjamin Chilwell in the role that he wants to use him in. But Benjamin doesn't fit that particular role. And the idea worrisome for him. He would want to use him in a role and Kebe fits constantly. Benjamin Chilwell can play well and then get results for him, and then can make sure on be part of it, but it's not working. And then the end is Crystal Palace who are very, very close in trying to get a loan deal for Abrantia, your friend of Benjamin Chilwell over there. Kani Chukwuemeka, another player this season, only a lot of game time. Now Chelsea for now have been clear to Obia, said the only way they will let Abrantia friend Kani Chukwuemeka leave, and they say you are either buying him outright. It's just like the Joao Felix conversation. Either say, oh, turn it outright, 50 million, 60 million, no call. And I say, OG on loan, there is an obligation to buy in the summer, not option to buy. And I say, dry loan without a fee. I don't know, they are not going to do that, else they will keep the players there. Chelsea for now have said they are in a good position now, and then they are going to make sure they are going to make sure they are going to get good money for all of our players now, and not to make sure and not to get not get good quality money for all of our players now. Aston Villa for still asks a lot of questions on Abrantia, your friend Axel the Sassy. They've asked a lot of questions around him. Now Villa for making sure they went to Oluwafikayo Tomori or AC Milan Spurs for Ebisa questions of Tomori turned them down. Axel the Sassy, there were Kevin Danson now who has moved to Spurs. I know we're a player from RCD Lyon, our French league on him. But Aston Villa also want a centre back because of course they are in there looking for players. Jago Senepra for Tottenham Hotspur, and one of the key players and come up and one of them in terms of transfers and moving from Chelsea and Abrantia, your friend Axel the Sassy. Now this is it. So Chelsea for free a young boy, a friend Aaron Anselmino, if we Boca Juniors have a common team in him. Now and then clubs be to say Marseille and other clubs from the German Bundesliga accent say Chelsea betting and come for Aaron Anselmino and Momo Nanka Ombebo on loan and Momo send about boy and some game time. Now Chelsea for now are beginning to find a conversation and get to a conclusion of our players now, especially with Axel the Sassy. What is going on is that Chelsea for now are hoping if they get a permanent deal and TME permanent deal for Abrantia and Axel de Sacia, they will let him go to any team, Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa, any of our teams. No, they will let Abrantia and Axel de Sacia go. Then they will keep Aaron Anselmino because they are younger, and Chelsea for say they believe in the prospect of Abrantia and Aaron Anselmino for him to succeed at Chelsea Football Club. So and then what I was hearing when I woke up this morning, and they said Aston Villa are still insisting again for Axel de Sacia with Chelsea. Negotiations continue between clubs and player, and as player said days ago, for Axel de Sacia, he has agreed personal terms with Aston Villa. He wants to play football I think that he has been a very, very good servant to Chelsea. But to bench crowd complaining, he just stays there and get a job done. Tottenham made contact today and could sign 2 centre backs based on conditions as Dragosan is injured. And I did mention, say, Tottenham for a deal for Abrantia friend Kevin Danso to join them over there. And they want Abrantia friend Axel Disasi. I have a strong feeling, say, Chelsea centre back friend Axel Disasi, he may lead Chelsea Football Club. Then they will keep Aaron and Salmino, especially because Omar Abrantia, their friend Trevor Chalobah back into the team. Chelsea with a lot of transfer conversations and maybe Remo Eddie Amal. But to start with, Marco Asensio has moved from Paris Saint-Germain to go into Aston Villa. Mekachero said for Aston Villa, after selling Abrantia friend John Duran, they would always wanted to make sure they find in another backup. And when I say backup, I mean player Obetini able in attack Eddie Amal wants a second striker or can come off the bench and give them something different from what Oli Watkins give them. Now, the conversation started with Joao Felix. Aston Villa for sporting director friend Monchi spoke about the fact that Una Emery Abrantia friend Joao Felix has but then again he has not been able to work with him. They will see if they can do a deal. Now the thing is that Chelsea for the catcher Aston Villa for said Joao Felix deal no. Anything loan it be as no more obi to say Marco Asensio Robert John, they were not going to do that. They want to help a boy now to scan it outright 60 million, 70 million, not Fanico. And now they are Chelsea for them loan. So you loan as them in common about the year and it's not baby. No one someone keep your player, no more player and more because they don't want to do any conversation about loan deals CBR or Honor. And until any man Aston Villa for next year but and then Abrantia, your friend Joao Felix, the agent, our friend Jorge Mendes, has flown into AC Milan. Now, call Milan Cromon. He is going to meet 2 people. One, Abrantia, your friend Ibrahimovic, who is part of the directors of AC Milan, and have conversations of Joao Felix. And 2, coach, our friend Sergio Conceição, to try and sell the player. Your friend Joao Felix not in there, so maybe Joao Felix can come in and play for team friend AC Milan. But Chelsea has been clear to go him and they said, "Abrana boy in a fee Barcelona and let's go the money Rabana. You didn't let us take him on loan. So you better turn to go and it will keep in Kuku." And it's the same story as the Matthias Stell story now. Indeed, Jorge Mendes Milan Cromon, but then he's trying and broker a deal. Very, very difficult for anybody to get Joao Felix if it's not permanent. So last week, Joao Felix traveled to go and play the game against Manchester City at Etihad because now will be a free move or the family move. So he had to go back to Portugal where he went to commiserate with the family. It's a huge thing. Now because Aston Villa could not wait, because Aston Villa cannot buy a Abrantia friend Joao Felix on a permanent deal no anti. They went on and they brought in Abrantia friend Marco Asensio and Marco Asensio to Aston Villa. And here we go. Agreement in place on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. Green light after indoor exits, and that's exactly what has gone on in there for Abrantia, your friend Marco Asensio, Okako joining team up, your friend of Aston Villa. For again, I was talking about Kani Chukwuemeka, and Chelsea have said they won't accept any loan with buy option clause for Chukwuemeka. Chelsea only consider with the last 48 hours to go on Borussia Dortmund. Keen on talks, it's a permanent deal and almost pathway, playing time, loan fee will be key to decide with Strasbourg. And of course, Chelsea for 100%. Omode boy no ekobe will be in game time, and it's anybody to come in and accept a brand friend Kanza Kani Chukwuemeka. What they will do and they say Omode a brand Ebeko team my friend of Strasbourg, of course Racing Club de Strasbourg, our French League on him Omwangasa feeder club to go and play some game time there and then get some good football to play. Our Strasbourg and that Liam Ross said no, but something that Chelsea for are looking at doing in terms of picking up and getting game time for Abrantia friend Kani Chukwuemeka. Then maybe in the summer they will get a job. And like I mentioned, Olympique Marseille have agreed in terms with Aaron and Salmini on loan move from Chelsea and will not include a buy option. Deal now depends on Chelsea and loan spots available, waiting for English club to make a decision on which player they will loan. So Chelsea beat my loaner, just one loan pen on beat me, and that's why I said it depends on Abrantia friend Axel Disasi possible move in there. And if Chelsea are going to get him in or not. Abrante's friend Matheus Cunha, a lot of clubs wanted him. Arsenal, Chelsea, all of these clubs really wanted him. But I knew that deal could not be done in January. Now, what has happened in the last 24 hours is that Abrante's friend Matheus Cunha set to sign a new long-term deal at Wolves, valid for 4.5 years. Staying at the club in January will have a release clause in June 2025. Agreement has been reached in the summer. So you play an as opener, you go in there and then you go you go in there and then you make sure you go and pay some money. Release clause now, then you can get Abrante, your friend Matheus Cunha, Southampton. Asa Metia formal bid to Abubakar Silla on loan from Strasbourg. No buy option included. Straight loan. 2002 born center for the Blue Coat Group. No. Lazio also interested since last week. Southampton are now in action. I doubt it's a Strasbourg for them. I don't play about Cologne. Our English Premier League. That's something that they are not going to do. Chelsea, a very, very big game playing against your friend West Ham United. Enzo Maresca has spoken in the pre-match to start match and said a lot of things about Chelsea, how they are preparing for the game this Sunday. And he spoke about the captain, Reece James. I say he's trying to make an effort in terms of this kind of things, in terms of leadership. I've said many times the captain and all the captains need to be a good example. They have to try with all the teammates, especially since we have many young players doing it in the session and in the changing room at all the time. Enzo Maresca, in this moment, we are better than 2 months ago. And the reason is because the players all need to leave this kind of moment and this kind of difficulty to be better in future. We are better than 2 months ago. And even if we struggle to win games over there, and that's Enzo Maresca, like I said, I mean, it's a curve. But I think that's a match, and it's a game where if Chelsea don't win, then it actually moves from bad to worse. And Enzo Maresca will begin to get under pressure if he doesn't win tomorrow. Now he's under pressure because a lot of us, like me, agree that he has done a very, very good job with Chelsea. But say, when Timmy win, then pressure begins to mount on coach and friend Enzo Maresca. He needs to win. Although the players, they need some of these moments now. They really need to win over the Graham Potter said, I mean, things do happen. I'll say, for Chelsea, yes, he was sad, but in things like this, we'll probably look back and say that's a good one for him, and then we'll see how things will turn out over there for Abrante's friend Graham Potter. And then you had much match between Chelsea and the team, your friend. Your friend West Ham United. It's important say Chelsea being a winner because now Newcastle will drop a point. Team my friend Bournemouth and so drop a point. I think that one other team like that also did drop point. And then Arsenal, any Manchester City it's a game where one of them is definitely going to drop points. Chelsea says so much the results then it's going to close in and be a good one for them in terms of going into the top 4, which is their major conversation. Chelsea need to be very, very hard and make sure they get the results now for themselves. And BBR will go on well for them. We'll wait to see. And this is it in terms of the second broadcast that was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you are a Panther, all the games are in the description of the video below. So make sure you go down there and enjoy. Have Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Take care. See you.